What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing another Anime Matsuri reflection video. That's what I should call them, right? Huge thank you to Anime Matsuri. They are the ones who brought me out to the convention so that I can make these videos for you guys. Alright, so to recap a bit from the last video, because that one really wasn't a formal video like this, that was a little more in the moment. To recap a little bit from the last one, I had stayed up until 3 in the morning working on my panel prep and packing, so this was on Tuesday night, and then I woke up at 6 a.m. to go get on the plane. The boys and I got to the airport fairly early and we had some time to kill, so Dalton and I got chick for breakfast, and then I tried to touch up on my ASL a bit before the trip. I had like 5 weeks of informal YouTube training on ASL before I went out there, and it wasn't enough. Not that I ever thought it was going to be, but it just wasn't enough. The flight was nice and quick, but it turned out that everything I had tried to download before the flight didn't actually download, so I had nothing to do on the flight, I had nothing to watch, and it wasn't big enough, the plane wasn't big enough for me to pull my laptop out and edit or anything. So it was just the stuff I had tried to download from my phone didn't download because I don't know why. So I just kind of vibed and listened to music and hung out. We landed at the George Bush Intercontinental Airport, and when we were leaving, I walked past not only the spot where I wound up stranded last time I was here when my plane got delayed, but I wound up walking right past the actual terminal that I left for last time. So it was kind of funny to like start this trip exactly where the last trip ended. But then we all went out to get a lift to the hotel, and for some reason the lift wasn't going to pick us up by the airport. It was going to pick us up at the Marriott across the street from the airport, and being at the Marriott gave me incredibly strong G-Fest vibes. It was like I was standing in the ghost of G-Fest, which doesn't make much sense because I stayed at the DoubleTree during G-Fest, and G-Fest is held in the Crown Plaza, so it's not held in a Marriott. But for some reason, this one hotel gave me like really strong, I don't know, like G-Fest is not happening this year vibes. It was weird. But then we got the lift and we took it to the hotel. It was an okay drive, but it was super strange. It was a nice enough woman, but she was on the phone the whole time talking to her boyfriend. It was like we weren't even in the back seat. She's basically talking about us, like, oh yeah, you don't have to worry about these guys hitting on me. I was like, what is going on? We made it to the Hilton. That's the same hotel I stayed in last time, and it's beautiful. So now I know what hotel it is because I did not know last time. It's just as great as I remember it. I loved walking in and seeing that big golden globe in the back. I guess it's not a globe, it's a map. A big golden map and this big waterfall. Oh man, it's nice. It's a nice feeling walking in there. They've got these weird fish chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. They're so distinct that I've always remembered the chandelier, but I didn't realize until now that they're fish. It's like weird fish. And yeah, like I said, just I loved seeing the big golden map and the little lobby bar back there. It's really beautiful. So there is that cool waterfall that separates the lobby from the elevators, but it turns out, as we discovered, that's not the side of the hotel I was on. That's the side of the hotel I was on last time, so I figured I'd just go up there. And then it turned out we were on the other side of the hotel this time. Not that it's that big of a deal. It was just like a weird learning curve for me. I immediately slipped right back into the groove of where I was where I left off, and so it really felt like for me not much time had passed. Like I just went from there to being back there, and every time I would try and go in, I would go to the wrong elevator, and like when I'd walk out of my door, I'd turn the wrong direction because I was so used to the way it was before. It was weird. I was only there for one weekend. I don't know how it got so ingrained in my mind. Pretty much the second we walked into the lobby, my manager, who I actually don't know, I think she's just guest relations, but I referred to her as my manager the whole time I was there. She came and greeted us. Hi. Her name was Amber. She's great. She's super nice. Saw her a lot during the convention. She was clearly very, very busy. So shout out to Amber. But she did find us immediately. It was super nice and helpful to have someone like her working with me, and it just made it feel very comfortable. So I'm super lucky to have gotten her as, I'll call her my manager. So as you saw in the other video, we did make it to the room only to discover that the pad that you scan that lets you in, because you know they've got these keys. Yeah, I stole mine. They've got these securities that you scan to get in, and the scanner that you scanned these against was dead. It just didn't work, so we couldn't get in our room. So that's what led to the big debacle where we had to kind of sit around for 2 hours while it turns out the security guard was letting us in and out, only to discover that maintenance didn't even know. So the poor security guard was doing his best, but for whatever reason didn't alert maintenance, and the second they alerted maintenance, they got it fixed. So then we were finally free to explore the hotel, and we explored it a little bit. We kind of walked around the lobby. We were expecting to film the Godzilla hotel room pretty early after we got there, but it was still being put together, so it turned out we had a lot of time to kill. That was not a trend that followed for the last 3 days of the convention, but it's crazy thinking back on the first 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, being like, we actually had downtime. Like, there was times when we were doing nothing. So me and the boys headed over to the George R. Brown Convention Center to check out the lobby.
Tomorrow it all goes down, sort of. It starts to anyways. It will start to tomorrow.
I'm gonna like eat it or something. What?
Dang, it was out of focus, but it's okay. It was a little out of focus. I got it though.
I noticed that their big convention hall doors were open and that there were people inside, and so I just kind of wandered in. Something that I realized a long time ago is that if you just kind of walk in somewhere with a camera around your neck and you look confident, people just kind of assume you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which in this case I was. It's not like I was breaking any rules. I'm just saying sometimes you find that you can get away with a little more when you just got a camera around your neck. Maybe a camera bag, maybe. I didn't have one this time, but maybe that sells it. You don't even have to look nice. You just have that camera, you kind of fiddle with it, and you look confident, and people let you do whatever. I've done stuff like this a few times, and it works almost every time. So I just kind of wandered in there, just kind of looking around, seeing as they were setting up the convention. It was pretty cool. It was like the groundwork was just being laid. Luckily, Amber was there, so we started talking, and it was like, all right, come on in. It was there where I met Chris, who's a signer, who's going to be working with Kaylee for the weekend. He was not a certified interpreter for ASL. That was something that came up the next day as I discovered. He was just a signer. He's a person who knows sign language. He's also awesome. You're going to hear a lot more about him in the next few videos. But this is where we met, was when I was kind of wandering around the convention. They took me over to where the Godzilla store was going to be, and so I got some footage to show, and it's kind of cool seeing the empty convention hall and getting to explore it, getting a peek behind the curtain, seeing what it takes to actually set up a convention like Anime Matsuri. It's a lot of work. And it was really cool seeing just this red box on the ground and being like, in no time, that's gonna be the Godzilla store. And it was here during this little wandering around the convention that it was pointed out to me that the last time I was here the entire weekend, I spent all of my time at 2 spots. I was either at the Godzilla store or I was with the mocap actors at their booth. Now this is something that I knew. I knew that I did that, but it was just kind of like poking fun at the fact that I didn't actually explore the convention last time. And it's true. So I made sure this time was different. I did not spend much time at the Godzilla store. I actually explored the convention. Chris definitely, but maybe also Amber. Either way, I'll say Chris and Amber recommended this place called Phoenicia. I don't think I said that right. It's a restaurant. They recommended it so that me and the boys could get shawarma for the first time. And so we set out into the city to find it. After making it to the wrong side of the right building, we found our way into this amazing little shop. Inside the store, there was a full market with loads of food, and it was really friendly and cool. The people working there were super nice. It was a really cool little shop. I definitely recommend if you're in Houston, downtown Houston, go check it out. In the very back of the shop was this little shawarma place where we got dinner. Me and the boys trying shawarma, epic Avengers reference. Epic Avengers Age of Ultron moment. Is it good?
The drink? Good. How's the drink?
Good. I haven't tried it yet, but we were recommended to try it, so we're here. We're also, apparently I'm making a travel vlog now, so I'll keep you posted on the adventures in this very foreign land. It's me and the boys post shawarma. What was everybody's shawarma hot takes?
It was good. It was dry though.
I didn't Mine was just freaking good. It made me like tomatoes, and I don't even like tomatoes.
It was good. I liked it. It was dry, but it was good. They had some mac and cheese or whatever this place is. It was super cheesy. That was also pretty good. I liked that as well, quite a bit.
Mac and cheese was fire. The rice was good too. Rice was good. Mac and cheese was the highlight. Easy.
For sure. Let's continue. So after eating there, we set back out into the city to explore, and we eventually stumbled upon this place called the Rusty Crab. It's a SpongeBob-inspired bar that popped up in Houston for a little bit. I think it was only there for a limited time, and it just happened to be there while we were there. Unfortunately, we never actually tried it out. So we just explored the city. We were gonna go see the Minute Maid Stadium. I'll talk more about that in the next video. We didn't see it though. We kind of were just going, and we'd go up to a crosswalk, and it'd be like, whichever light turns green first, that's the one we're going down. So we just kind of explored the city that way. We eventually stumbled across this building that was really cool. It was like completely flat from one angle, and it was really trippy the closer you got to it. And then on the side, it actually had a really intricate design. I didn't get any footage of that. There's also a building that I don't think I have any footage of, but I definitely tried to film it last time I was there. It just looks, for some reason, like a big spooky Ghostbusters hotel to me. It doesn't look like the hotel from Ghostbusters or anything. For some reason, it just gives me Ghostbusters vibes. So we called that one Spooky Building, then we had Flat Building, and then we had Minute Maid, and so we had a couple landmarks around the city so that we knew where we were, because we did explore quite a bit. Then obviously our hotels. We went back to the hotel and hung out for a little bit until the Godzilla room was ready to be seen, so then we went and checked it out. Now this isn't going to be the Godzilla hotel room video. I'll show some clips of it, but this isn't the big video for it. I'll put together all the footage I have for it, and I'll find some way to deliver it to you guys in a way that will be interesting to see. So if you're disappointed that I'm not showing off a ton of the Godzilla hotel room, it's okay. I'll show more later. There was an awesome photographer there who had a super professional setup. Like, you could tell this guy's a pro. I am not. I wish I could remember his name, and I feel horrible that I can't, but I know that I couldn't pronounce it even when it was told to me. I could not pronounce it right. I think his name was Kui, because I remember thinking that his name was Queen, but I'm not sure. I found out that weekend that I am horrible with names. I had to write down everybody's names after a certain point because I could not remember anybody's names, and it was driving me crazy. Like, people I was talking to over and over again, I was like, I don't know this person's name. So I guess I just suck with names. I'm sorry. I think his name was Quee, but he was really cool. He had a super professional setup, helped me get a couple shots in the hotel room, so it was really sweet. Also, contrary to popular belief, I did not stay in the Godzilla hotel room. It was an open raffle. Somebody else won it. I got a lot of people complaining to me, like, of course they would give you the Godzilla hotel room. Yeah, I was on board. I would also feel kind of scummy if I got the Godzilla hotel room because it was an open raffle. I did not get it. I don't know why people were like, of course you would. I didn't. I did not stay in it. So when people are like, what bed did you sleep in, Godzilla or Mechagodzilla? I didn't even get to pick. I did not stay there. But either way, the hotel room was pretty sweet. I actually really liked checking it out, especially when we turned the lights out. Super cool. Oh man, it was really cool with the lights out. We ended up going back over to check out the convention hall one last time to see the progress they made on the Godzilla store. Mostly it was just because I always wanted to be doing something and I didn't really want to go to sleep because I was excited to be there. So I was like, let's keep doing stuff. So we could have turned in and gone to bed after the hotel room, but I wanted to go check out the convention hall one more time. That's where I met the manager of the store this year. His name was Brandon. I got a little bit of footage with him that, again, I will figure out a way to deliver that to you guys in a way that will be entertaining. We have a lot of footage from that, a lot of interviews, so it's just kind of a matter of how do I want to put this together, and I'm still figuring it out. But I met Brandon here. It was cool. After leaving, we started to walk around the city at night a little bit, and I noticed this large wooden platform, and I was kind of getting just random footage just of the night because I really liked big empty halls, and I like nighttime aesthetics and lonely aesthetics, so I was getting a lot of big open empty footage, and there was this platform that I was getting footage of, and then I noticed that there was a woman standing on this platform. It was like a big wooden platform, and she looked very familiar. I did not want to jump to assumptions, but I did point it out to the boys that I was like, hey, that might be Hottle, Kaylee's mom. And when I turned back around, suddenly she's like in front of me, and she comes over and greets me and gives me a hug, because her and I have been talking for months now, basically just trying to get to know each other, because we knew that we were eventually going to meet here at the convention. And because I was going to be up there on the panel with Kaylee, I definitely didn't want to just be some stranger who she was uncomfortable being on a panel with, so at the very least, I wanted to get familiar with her mom. And her mom's a great person. I really, really enjoyed talking to her. So meeting her in person was super cool. It was a lot like meeting all of my internet friends at G-Fest, like Matt from Monstrosities or Andres, and anybody I met at G-Fest. It was a lot like that, where it's like I've known this person online, but now I see them in person, and it's always a different experience meeting somebody in person than you'd expect or than you're used to online. So it was cool. Ketsy's also an incredible person. She does a lot of really great work, so it was nice. Now, here's the thing, is I can't speak with sign language. I am not fluent in sign language. I wasn't expecting to use sign language here. So when Ketsy turned and waved over to someone, it was a younger girl who was signing with somebody else, who I think I found the other girl on Instagram. I believe I found the person who she was signing with on Instagram. But the younger girl, she ran over, and it was Kaylee. Here's the thing. You can learn as much ASL as possible online. You can learn as many words as possible. You can try and learn the grammar, which is hard, but you can try to learn the grammar. That's what I was trying to do. You're not going to be prepared until you meet a deaf person or somebody who speaks using ASL. You're just not going to be ready for it, is what I figured out very quickly, especially when that person is with a famous person. I was beyond nervous to meet Kaylee Hottle. It was so out of nowhere and unexpected. Like, we weren't planning on running into them or anything. We were just out on a walk and we just happened to bump into them. I tried my best to introduce myself. I really did. But man, I do not think I was very successful. I was so nervous. The second Kaylee ran over, it was like my mouth went dry. I just felt jittery and like, well, I can't remember anything. I tried to introduce myself. I tried. I really don't know how successful I was. I was so nervous. The other thing that I realized that I knew this was going to be an issue going in, but I didn't realize how bad I would be at it. I did not realize how hard it is to interpret when somebody else is signing. You can learn words and vocab. It's different when you're seeing somebody else sign it than when you're doing it. And so seeing somebody else sign was like, I got no idea what they're saying. So Ketsy and I had a very brief interaction. I didn't really talk to Kaylee because I was too nervous. Ketsy and I had a very brief interaction. She was looking for some scooters to play with. I didn't know where they were. And then we both went our separate ways. But they did have these really cool fountains in front of the convention that you really couldn't appreciate until night. They have actually a really cool stuff in front of the convention center. Some really interesting benches, which I don't think I have footage of. And then a really beautiful park. Okay, so now that I've met Kaylee and gotten that out of the way and I'm incredibly nervous, it's like, all right, guys, it's time to go on one quick night stroll. We didn't really go far. I think we went maybe back to the Phoenicia shop to pick some stuff up. Maybe. I think we did. And then we went back to the hotel room and we turned in for the night. So that was our adventures on day 1 of Anime Matsuri. That was our Wednesday adventures. The biggest takeaway of the first day for me was meeting Ketsy. It was just really cool to meet somebody that I had talked to online in person. She's also super nice, and so I really liked meeting her in person. Meeting Kaylee was also a big takeaway, but it just made me so nervous. Like, I even feel nervous talking about it because I just felt so thrown off by it. But it was really cool. I mean, I've been watching Godzilla vs. Kong over and over and over again since it came out. You know, I've seen it tons of times now, and so it's like a movie that I'm super familiar with. So I've spent a lot of time with her character, Gia. So meeting the person who plays Gia is really cool, and it's also scary. But yeah, that was the big takeaway from the first day. But also that Phoenicia place, that was very good. I liked the shawarma. I liked the place a lot. I really liked being there. That'll do it for this one, guys. I want to give a huge thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. You guys are the best. If you want to support the Patreon, you can using the link in the description below. It can get you access to content early. You can get access to the Discord community, among other options. I say that because I don't want to list them all, but you can like recommend videos and you get your name in the credits and stuff like that. It also goes a very long way towards supporting the channel and keeping videos like these possible. I wouldn't be able to make these videos if I didn't have your guys' support, especially with life being expensive, so it's always helpful. All right, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.